Derivatives trading involves substantial risk of loss and is not suitable for all investors. Past performance is not necessarily indicative of future results. Good morning. So, we've had some interesting moves overnight. We come over to the chart, make it out big. And that's oil. Nobody cares about oil. I know a lot of you care about oil, but I don't care about it. All right, so we had, a pretty big sell yesterday. Some news comes out of the Fed. I would say the meeting minutes were mostly negative, but they didn't really tell us anything that we didn't already know. But basically, some Fed members didn't really think that we even needed to cut. So we moved down. But then overnight, some more news that a trade deal might not happen, and it's because they're still stuck over forced technology transfers. But then there's also still hope that maybe they will at least avoid another round of tariffs. I don't know. I think, especially with this whole thing with Kurdistan, I think that Donald Trump is going to be very much not in the mood for settling for anything. Could be wrong. But yeah, I think he's a little embarrassed about it. So yeah, we had a little bit of a move up, but then it's already retraced. And we got this CPI number coming out today that is extremely likely to disappoint. Of course, I don't know for sure what's going to happen, but given that the PPI was negative, that's probably not going to be a very good CPI. If I come over here, we are looking for a reading of spot 1 with a previous reading of spot 1 and a core CPI reading of spot 2 versus a previous reading of spot 3. Keep in mind that the core CPI is the one that is X food and energy, and of course oil having moved down significantly means the regular CPI is going to be much lower. Spot 1 versus spot 2 on the core. So that's the difference between those two numbers. There's also going to be a 30-year bond auction today, which favors buying. There's been a lot of demand in the bonds past few auctions. So we got 5 minutes here. Pull up Discord here. Okay, so there's the open. I'm not seeing a lot of clicks. I would prefer buying, but the liquidity is low all the way down
Twitch
to there.
Fakia, top of the morning.
Fakia. How's it going? That's a great name for my text to speech reader, apparently. Fakia. Probably should be enunciated differently, right? Oh, they're putting a decent amount there at 12.5. I honestly, I could buy it at 13 potentially. I think though, I don't know. I'm a little weary about trying to take it here in these 10 minutes before the news and everything after what happened to me last time. Because I just, I got a really good runner only for it to come back on me just before the news. Like, I don't know about, them balancing out at maybe 16 before the news, for instance. Oh, man. My nose really itches. Maybe they come back down to 12. There's some iceberging there. Let's see, they're having a little bit of a... I'm getting a signal here, which suggests that they're going to move up a few ticks and then reverse. Okay. Yeah, it's definitely a signal there. Make sure I have the Twitter open. There we go. ECB Vice President De Guinos to MNI. Although we can reduce interest rates further, the side effects of monetary policy are becoming more and more evident and more tangible. In other words, they're realizing that perpetually low interest rates have a negative impact on growth. New York Fed takes $42.6 billion of securities in 14-day term repo operation. So there still seems to be a shortage of liquidity. I'm wondering if it's the same banks every time. You know what I mean? 100 Christian leaders sign statement supporting impeachment inquiry. That's great. You go ahead and you do that inquiry. Like, actually have a vote first, of course, and do it. I don't even think the Donald Trump supporters oppose that. They really don't. So there's your further push.
YouTube Wrong ZH. Hi everyone.
Hey, Ron, how are things going? Bright and early, time for the CPI news. Decent iceberg at 14 there. It's a little curious to be having this kind of a push in this location. Of course, I would expect them to push up and maybe try and come back down to a more balanced price pre-news, but it's continued to push. Now, often when I see a sustained push like this, it results in a very strong reversal. I'm not so sure that I would want to take that one in this particular case, because I think that somebody really wants to buy it. I mean, there has been some iceberging on the bid side here. Does our histograms and jigsaw tell us that? They do. They don't say that it's significant, but they do say that they've been buying, and they say that the balance point, not the balance point, but the big spot was 12.5. You can see all the size put on there. Resistance becomes support.
YouTube Wrong ZH. I ask you some trading related question.
Okay. You do that. Why would you say that? Why wouldn't you just ask the question? Mm-mm-mm. Well, what are people saying, platform and brokers today?
YouTube Uzi Knesset. Hola.
There you are. How's it going, Uzi?
YouTube Wrong ZH. How old are you, Seth? Grinning face with big eyes.
I am 34. 34, I think. I have to think about it and calculate it in my head. That's how old I am. No, pretty sure it's 34. I really thought about coming in today and just like buying the first price that I saw, but they weren't. They were already had given me a signal, you know, would have been like 11. So I said, nope. Well, should have done it, but woulda, coulda, shoulda, right? Bloomberg News. President Donald Trump pressed then Secretary of State Rex Tillerson to help persuade the Justice Department to drop a criminal case against an Iranian Turkish gold trader who was a client of Rudy Giuliani. Well, that would be awful if he actually did that. Okay, pretty strong pull here. 45 seconds. Remember, core CPI number is the number that's going to matter, and we are looking for a reading of spot 2 month over month. Sometimes on Twitter, they don't give us the same number, so. Another ask from Beijing. China will ask for an end to sanctions on units of shipping company Costco in trade talks. Oh, okay. Maybe get rid of forced technology transfers? Otherwise, I don't see a whole lot happening. Make sure I'm on limit orders here, only here. Okay, so there's the news. Quite a bit of, oof. Definitely a move, but I don't know. That one come back quite a bit. So I'm seeing unemployment claims 210 versus an expected 215. Okay. The core CPI number is less than expected at spot 1 versus spot 2. So, yeah. That's not nearly as bad as the PPI number was, but it is down. And that does give the Federal Reserve room to cut rates further, but they were clearly buying it ahead of the news. Looks like some profit taking, probably why we got that pushback so quick. Okay, well, we've come back. They might give us an opportunity to buy it here, so let's just kind of be patient. Interesting that there's nothing sitting at 12 now. And there's literally no large players involved. So I think we should wait until they show up again. In a significant blow to Emmanuel Macron, France's commission pick Sylvie Goulard has been rejected by Parliament. Interesting. Okay, so there was one. It was way out there, though. Okay, down tick. A little bit of, what do we say, drama off of it. I don't think that they were happy it ticked down there. No, sir. Yemeni coming up there in a bubble. 530, huh? 29.14.75. So far, this is playing out about the way that I would expect. CPI, the index used for cars and trucks, declined in September, falling 1.6%. Wonder if somebody's saying, I mean, it did come back quite a bit and we were below the news price. So maybe somebody said, yeah, it was a miss, but it's not enough. I don't know. Someone seems to be pretty convinced that the Federal Reserve isn't going to raise rates as much, lower rates as much as the market hopes. So there was an iceberg at 11. And they got through him pretty easily, and now they're just blowing through it down to the bottom. I thought that they would test this side, but not as aggressively as they are. And it's not really giving me a signal to buy it either. U.S. consumer price growth slows as used car prices plunge. Another fairly
YouTube,
big
wrong
push down.
ZH. How do you determine the HFT orders from the Institute and big boys in the DOM?
Well, so when I talk about Big guys, I'm talking about changes of 400 lots or more. Right now, I'm not seeing them. Right? It's like they've completely left and they're just letting it free fall. Beyond that, it's awfully hard to tell, I think. Is that an algorithm or is that a bunch of retail guys? There's a lot of people buying at 8. I'm not necessarily seeing any kind of clear imbalance or signal that they can't go for the low.
YouTube, Uzi Knesset, 62, 31 daily downside target on ZB.
Okay. Well, we're not too far away from that. You're already short then, huh? Well, now we're below. Oh, the opening range was huge. So we're below the opening range. Curious. So can I really justify buying it at this point? I don't think so. Why, they haven't given us... Oh, that's not what I wanted. They haven't given us any kind of a pullback to go
YouTube,
short
Uzi
anyways.
Knesset from VWAP grinning face with big eyes.
He took it from the VWAP at 105? Wow. Or sorry, it would have been 13. Well, good job, my friend. I would not have the balls to take that trade. Sure is going. So I am seeing now down here an increase in activity. Okay.
YouTube, Uzi Knesset, now 163, 23 lol.
Oh, you're right. That was the point of control. Now you took it from there. I'm getting some signs though that they might turn it here for a bit though.
YouTube, Uzi Knesset, out at evens.
Cool. Good job. So what was it? The news was... So what got you to take it at 23 then? Man. I mean, you had to have had it, you would have had to have had it just sitting there, right? And you just happened to get hit in the news. How did you... Ooh. I kind of don't believe you. How did you do that? I mean, you clearly could have gotten filled. I just can't believe that you would have taken a short up there.
YouTube, Uzi Knesset, it was a VWAP, lol. I was offering it.
Even after the news? That's crazy that they went through the VWAP and then immediately sold back down. It's crazy. I didn't even because it's very different. The 30-year, okay, the 30-year barely kissed the VWAP, went through it just a little bit and came down. In the 5-year, they went pooh, well, like a whole deviation through it. So you can see the spread. Okay, and you can see the buying here. Profit taking at least. I'm still not seeing big guys coming in.
YouTube, Uzi Knesset, it was rather unbelievable. I sat down this morning, put in an offer at the VWAP and just kinda left it there. Grinning squinting face.
Dude, you got so lucky. I can't believe you just left it. That isn't that not that I'm saying that it's like foolish or anything. It just doesn't sound like you. But you caught it, and you caught a great winner off of it. That's amazing. That's almost like what? Mm, $400.
YouTube, Uzi Knesset. I dunno why it's luck. VWAP has been keeping price down all night lol.
Hmm. So I'm definitely seeing DOM activity in this area now that we're down to O5, but I'm not seeing large institutional orders coming in. This is really interesting. I'm a little wary about buying it if those big lots don't show up. And they really shoved it down there.
YouTube, Uzi Knesset. $718.75 only one contract. Minus the
There you go.
$2.88 for the commish.
It's just amazing, dude. I'm feeling kind of left out because they're just selling. They just sold the crap out of this, and I don't quite understand why they've come down the way that they have, and it's not really doing anything that I could take a position with. Would have been a great trade for me to go short, and it didn't. I mean, I guess maybe you could call that a no. Well, there was this kind of up at the top. Somebody did take a short up there at the top, but why? It's a bigger question. They're pushing this down. Why do they want to sell it so badly?
YouTube, Uzi Knesset. Lots of weight on VWAP. 200 PD moving average below yesterday's value. Lots of context for selling.
This is a very suspicious sell pressure. What is the sell case here? Well, one, what is the sell case here? Two, what is, where's a place that we can actually take a position?
YouTube, Uzi Knesset. Wanna go again but scared down here for it.
To go short again? Well, they did go quite a bit further than your exit, didn't they? Alligator says average size pause here shouldn't
YouTube,
go lower
Uzi
than
Knesset.
S1.
Fundamentally, I have no idea what the sell case is. Technically,
Technically,
it's
it's pretty
pretty
obvious,
obvious.
yeah. From a technical perspective, they went up to the previous day's point of controls, basically, and then continued the selling from yesterday, essentially. So I would have to assume that the driver for the move down would be the same as whatever it was yesterday. I suppose that the Federal Reserve really doesn't want to increase rates. Well, somebody did stick some size there at 13.5. I am hearing a little bit more clicking. Hmm. I suppose we could say that the move down may have more to do with positioning more than anything, you know? It could just be that there's profit takers or people that really, well, that sucks. I really wanted 04. 05 is not a safe price. It could be the best that I get, though. It sucks. And the signal that they gave me down there was a little bit too tepid. I mean, the stack there is great, but I was looking for my signal. Didn't really give it. Let's see here. They can take it. They're 06. Okay, so there was a little bit of a stop run there, was it? Did they trade into 06 half there? They did. They traded 2000 at 06 half. Oh, very curious.
YouTube, Uzi Knesset, ZB kissing 200 mega amperes on 4 hours.
She read that as mega amperes. Is that what that's supposed to? I think you're saying the 200 moving
YouTube,
average.
Uzi Knesset, 62.28.
Right. That was a stop run right there in the 10-year. Did you see that? They traded that 3000 at 06 half almost immediately. And it's giving me another potential signal. So I don't think I should buy it here. U.S.-China trade talks about to start. Treasury Secretary Mnuchin just arrived. Says he's looking forward to the talks. There's a video of him pulling up in a Secret Service SUV. Why would they use a Chevy? Explain this to me. You're the government. You're looking, for security for important government officials, and you do a Chevy. Are those Suburbans good?
YouTube, Uzi Knesset, cause Chevy is like
Because
a
Chevy
rock.
is like a rock. I thought that the Chevy wasn't as good. My understanding was that there was not as good. Every Chevy that I've been in, like sedans, kill me. They're so terrible. Like the inside falls apart and they turn like boats. Okay, well, that was for sure a stop run. They push back down fast. I'm sure that on CNBC that's what they're showing right now. Okay.
YouTube, Uzi Knesset, I used to drive an S10, dropped on airbag suspension in my formative years lol.
Oh, there you go. So I'm still not seeing quite a perfect setup. Maybe I should be buying, should have been sitting there with a bid at 05, 04 half or so. But it's just not This just didn't quite set up the way that I would like. Yeah, that bid at 03 half is kind of looking juicy, and
YouTube, Uzi Knesset. It was a fun ride, but man, you really get a good grasp on how bad roads are in a low rider lol.
oh, you're right. I wouldn't. My wife, she hates driving my car. She doesn't like being so low to the ground. She doesn't like being close to the ground. She'll like move my seat up as high as possible, even though she's not that short.
YouTube, Greg Orlovsky, GM.
Hey, Greg, how's it going? Hey, so Greg has made a channel, and he made a little review of us, which was very, very kind. But now I'm seeing
YouTube,
it show up
Uzi
in
Knesset.
recommended.
I fell out of favor with my Mustang after I started driving my wife's monster truck lol.
Oh, there you go. But no, now Greg's video has been showing up in my feed as a recommended video. So you guys should totally check it out. Actually, here, I'll give you guys a link for the video. Let me find it. Because he said he was going to make more videos. So he told me that he was going to make some more videos. So if I were you, I would go subscribe. Because Greg has been at this for a very, very long time. There it is, right there. Let me get, and I will give you a share link. Copy. There you go. Check that video out if you haven't seen it, and give him a subscribe, because I think he's going to have some good stuff for us in the future. I think also, by the way, they did. We totally broke like the downside stop run targets in that Alga Lover would have put out for us. So it's kind of still a short. The Fed believed the US economy had turned the corner in 1937 and started to raise rates, and was wrong, bringing the economy to its knees again. It was fiscal reflation via World War II rearmament that then saved the day. Oh, that was back during the Depression, though. See, the thing that I don't think that people understand, like the let's say the Federal Reserve skeptics slash conspiracy theorist types, I've given a good bid at 05. If they could give me a good price, they moved that up. They've moved liquidity up. Anyways, yeah, I don't know. I've got to be careful here still. Anyways, the thing that I don't think that the skeptics, well, I don't want to say it's like they don't realize, but something that I find really curious is that when the Federal Reserve was first created and they were in control of interest rates, they didn't want to lower interest rates. I mean, really, think about it. The bankers, they make more money on higher interest rates, right? And they would very much prefer to have a high interest rate, big spread. And so in the beginning, that's kind of what the Fed did. And when the financial panic hit, they refused to lower rates. And that caused a huge shortage of dollars and pretty much killed the world economy. Now we have almost the exact opposite, right? They're keeping rates perpetually low. Perpetually low. It's like a completely different problem now, though, because we've never had rates this low, so we don't have any evidence. It's really just a theory that perpetually low rates hamper growth. But I kind of wonder if a lot of the growth that we've seen during Donald Trump's tenure. Certainly, some of it was due to the tax plan for sure. But I personally believe that some of it was just from the rates increasing, normalizing. When rates normalized, it freed up the liquidity and a ton of people started starting businesses. And it was all, I think that we were on track to get 4% growth until Donald Trump started trade war stuff. Okay, now he's coming in. This is a hard spot for me to take. It's not the price that I want. They're already kind of pulling at 05 half, which I'm a little upset about. But somebody's clearly stepping in here. So it's kind of a question of how accurate am I? Hmm. Hmm. Lots of back and forth on the level 2 there. Maybe perhaps because of the 5 year? 5 year is seeing a little bit of a push too, though. They're going to push it up? Okay. Okay, uptick. Okay. So they're trying to hit it, but it's fighting them a little bit. There's some iceberging at 05 half. Only 12, but seems that I hit the wrong price for sure. I was thinking maybe I could get 05 because, there's that big order down there and maybe they would try testing it. Right now, they're kind of suggesting somewhat of a balance around 05 half. So for me to have bought 06 is not great. I can get my price can go bid. That's good. If they could hold it with a stronger bid than 200, that would be awesome. Thank you, sir. That's awesome. Now, if we can start hitting 06 half, then I'd be really happy. The Financial Times view Huawei, although apparently privately owned, has achieved global scale in part through Chinese state support. Yes. When you're looking at the trade talks, something that doesn't get a whole lot of attention that I would pay attention to is discussion about Huawei. China seems to care a lot about the Huawei thing. I think it's probably because it really is a real security risk, but that's just a theory. But what we do know is that China seems to really care about Huawei getting all this 5G business. They really care about that. Mm, some decent.
YouTube, Greg Orlovsky. I haven't promoted it yet. Yes, I have your 16-tick winner edited to 27 minutes with DOM commentary.
Oh, thank you.
Really nice, someone could watch it and learn the basics of how you read the DOM.
You think so? So we were talking about this the other day, but like one of the problems that I've been having is like, I really wish that I could go through and like edit every video down to like, like 5 minutes or whatever of like the best moments.
YouTube, Ace Trades, morning.
Um,
YouTube, Algo Lover, GM winking face.
oh, there you are, Algo Lover. So what is your upsides now at this point? Because we clearly broke the. I don't know what your level was, but I'm pretty sure we broke it there, right? So does that reset it? What is the reset numbers now? How much further can I expect this to go? By the way, I got a good uptick there. Actually, almost maybe a little bit too good of an uptick. Anyways, though, I wish I could edit the videos, but so that would be so much work, right? Right, like to go through today's video and just pull out the best parts and like fast forward through things and stuff.
YouTube,
That would be
Algo
like,
Lover,
ugh.
ZN buyers will need to hold bid above 131,010 to defend the range here, nerd face. YouTube, Greg Orlovsky. You had this conversation with Win and Seth, you are correct. It took 4 hours on Sunday to edit the original video and make the
Right.
commentary. Win mentioned having a kid make the edit for $5.
Yeah, I can take like the one-off videos like the educational videos that I make. Sometimes I'll spend 2, 3, 4 hours editing those.
YouTube, Greg Orlovsky. Great idea, but one needs trade knowledge to properly dissect your trade videos. Lol. Oh, Win seems really nice.
Oh, she's very nice. She's very nice. It's kind of fun. It's just this really nice lady that I guess really likes live YouTube personalities and has been really nice to us and helpful. She's left a lot of comments on the channel, kind of helped boost the channel a little bit. I think that a lot of the growth that we've been seeing past few weeks, well, part of it is because I've been doing pretty okay in my own trading, but I also think part of it is when commenting and everything so much has been boosting us in the algorithm. Mm-mm-mm. Well, I do like the buys that we've had. There was an iceberg, well, 22 absorbed at 06 half, but then it went off again. So this could continue up, but so far it's being really slow, which is a little disappointing. The E-mini is potentially turning down, by the way. That might help. Where's Ace, by the way? Oh, Ace is here. I see him. He said good morning, but he hasn't taken a trade yet. Goldman Sachs. What the heck? He Zero Hedge made a
YouTube,
spelling
Algo
mistake
Lover.
here.
Check the ZN overnight high, 131,240. That's the price I anticipated yesterday if you remember thinking face.
Okay. Anyways, they're saying gold. Oh, gold
YouTube, Ace
sags.
Trades. Scrambling eggs at the moment.
Oh, I gotcha. Okay, so gold sags as Fed's Kaplan says rate cuts should be restrained. That's what the sell was. Okay. I'm still kind of in the mode of like the Fed is in denial, but they're going to have to reduce rates because the inflation is going down. But at the same time, just me personally, I would rather the Fed be really cautious. Like, let me rephrase that. If the Federal Reserve needs to intervene in markets here, I would prefer that they use the non-traditional tools like printing more money and so forth instead of the interest rate, because I believe that perpetually low interest rates are a drag on growth. And so that they seem to be very wary of reducing interest rates in this particular situation, I think is good. But in the end, I think that their hand is going to be forced. I think that they're going to have to, at some point, they're going to have to lower interest rates, probably another half of a point. Oh, I had another thought for Greg. Um, the other thing is that I feel like, of course, you can take it. There's a lot that you can learn from watching a previous video and stuff, but I also kind of feel, just for me personally, that the usefulness of a video uh, decreases significantly the further out we are from it. Does that make sense? You know, so it's like, if we watched a video from 2 weeks ago, market behavior is completely different, so it's not as useful.
YouTube, algo lover, for what it's worth, down finger.
Mm,
YouTube, algo lover, 8:21 a.m. algo lover, S if buyers hold, any pullback, above 2,897, then 2,933 target, if 2,897 breaks before that target trades, then anticipate a deeper sell-off nerd face.
87's pretty, gives them a decent amount of room to try and hold. It would have to have a pretty strong sell in the E-mini, wouldn't we?
YouTube, algo lover, HAGD. Thumbs up.
Thank you, sir. Now, how has the liquidity changed? It hasn't changed a whole lot. They're still holding a big bid down there at 04 half. What about these other ones? 5 years not really telling us anything, although it's being a little choppy. 30-year, there is quite a bit of liquidity that is now below there. Okay. They're trying to take 07 again. A little bit of profit taking. By the way, although I got in on a signal from the large lots, since that time we haven't really seen them a whole lot. That could be because there's just so much less liquidity on the DOM right now that I'm looking for too big of a lot. Like, maybe I need to readjust it. Maybe I need to make something that so that my little histogram is always there running in the background and automatically adjusts it for me or something. That would be complicated. That would take a lot of. I don't know if that would be worth the CPU. Okay, they can take a bid at 07, and they're hitting into 07 half now. And there's a 1800 at 08. I'd like to see if we take up that. 08 might just pull though. It's probably yeah, like it hasn't even been there the whole time, so that could pull. Oh, Donald Trump tweeted, what did he say? From the day I announced I was running for president, I've never had a good Fox News poll. Whoever their pollster is, they suck. But Fox News is also much different than it used to be in the good old days with people like Andrew Napolitano, who wanted to be a Supreme Court justice, and I turned him down. He's been terrible ever since. Shep Smith, Donna Brazil, who gave crooked Hillary the debate questions and got fired from CNN and others. Fox News doesn't deliver for the U.S. anymore. It is so different than it used to be. Oh, well, I'm president. That's not good for Fox News. It is not. Although a lot of Fox News viewers already felt that way. Just from me reading what people are saying online and stuff. Yeah, I don't know. They seem pretty stuck at 07.
YouTube, Uzi Knesset, Jesus that guy. YouTube, Uzi Knesset, SMH lol.
It's like everything that he tweets is kind of funny to me. The Border Patrol gets interceptors to detect and take down smuggler drones. There's a click. They ticked up after the click, but they didn't hold. The 5-year is experiencing some increased liquidity through this area on the sell side that they're having a little bit of trouble getting through.
YouTube, Uzi Knesset. His tweets are the epitome of boomer grinning, squinting face.
I think you're right. I still maintain that he's ADHD and that a lot of his behavior can be explained by that. Where is Hunter Biden? He has disappeared while the fake news protects his crooked daddy. Tweets Donald Trump. That is funny. Oh man. I mean, nobody else has been saying that. I haven't even been seeing that on. Okay, they finally took 07.5 pretty easily. Wait, it was 1800. Now it's 1400. Is that a big enough pull? I mean, if that pulls to below 1,000, then I would definitely be like, hey, this could continue. With it there, though, I'm kind of feeling a lot like I did on Tuesday, where it's like you're trying to get 4 ticks, and even 4 ticks is like too big of a lift for them, apparently. Wolfeffy calls limit up. He's tweeting, so the volatility is out there. How long before Donald Trump tweets something about China? Trade deal talks are starting. Now wouldn't be a good time to try and say something to try and give yourself additional leverage. Ugh, I don't like how that 06 half pulled. They're able to hold the 07. I mean, it can always be a lure. You know, the little things that we're reading here with a tick up and a tick down are often very small, but it's kind of like an aggregate. So that just that one time that pull, that wasn't necessarily a good thing, right? We did take 07 half. I don't think that anything traded into 08, right? China buys record volumes of U.S. pork amid trade talks, almost as if the U.S. has leverage amid China's food crisis. Yes, it does. Okay, they take it again. Still kind of 200. Yeah. The robots don't want to put too much there for some reason. Oh, okay, stack at 07. Was that where it is? Yes, it was. Somebody just added 1,000 at 07. So that's positive. It's potentially good. They're not. It's not causing them to buy 08. The 5-year is kind of maybe the hold up here. Really? Okay, there they took a 25 half. That's good. Now they're hitting into 08. It looks like they are going to end up trading 1,500 at 08, but they did so very, very quickly, and now 07 half is stacking as well. And I'm going to have to move. That because I'm getting that kind of aggressive stacking here at 4 ticks is a very positive sign that there's going to be some drama here. By the way, pretty good cumulative delta down, cumulative delta on the way back up. Not that much. Like we traded down, well, it was about 40 to 60, so about 20,000 contracts on the way down. Oh, like that's really good upticks. Now we're getting almost 1,000 on the upticks. I think that last one was that 1,000 that wanted to buy 07.5, 08. It's a really good example of where the Vista charts aren't necessarily just the way that it puts them on there. It's really good at showing you where the really big ones are. But just the fact that somebody stacked at 1,000 at oh 07 half on the uptick is a really positive sign, and you don't see that on the Vista chart. Hmm. Now that said, they are hitting into it. I have to say they didn't absorb a whole lot at oh 08. Okay. South China Morning Post downbeat on prospect of progress for today's U.S. China trade talks. Quote, dim prospects for deal as China and U.S. resume trade war talks. Mohammed El Alrain on the U.S. data front. September CPI inflation readings came in weaker than expected, amplifying the contrast with what's been happening in the labor markets and highlighting the contrast for the Fed between the need for activism and the risk of policy ineffectiveness. And another downtick, very easy downtick. Interesting. So when you get pushing like we got, it's certainly a positive sign, right? But then they let it come back down. Now that might just be because they want more, but it could also be that that pushing was a lure to try and lure in buyers so that they could start selling again. It might be prudent to just take a profit here, have it with it having come back like that. There was somebody willing to buy it at oh 07, but yeah. What did we get? We did get oh 09 at one point, right? Oh, it hit oh 09. I don't think it cleared it. About 10 minutes before the E-mini opened, by the way. Now the E-mini is kind of in a weird spot too, and I not so sure that I have any idea which way that one's going to move. Well, I'm not too happy about how that happened, huh? Because we sat in that for a long time, getting our upticks, and then it came back so fast. Well, okay. 1182 into oh 07? Hmm. Okay, something's happening in ES. They seem a little potentially upset about. It's not clear which direction it is. Do I see it in the currency? No. So I don't think it's a Brexit thing. Could just be something on the squawks about trade deal. What's this right here? It's saying buy. Mm-mm. Ed Rogan said a 1998 security agreement with Damascus gave Turkey the right to attack Kurdish forces in Syria if they pose a threat. Uh, Still not sure what that kind of volatility in the E-mini was. The Treasury would not continue up, but it's they're pushing it down. Like they're giving me the long signal here again. The 30 years showing quite a bit of activity too. Should zoom in on that. Well, the issue though is they might be they might just be trading off of what ES is doing. By the way, the regular ES liquidity looks quite low. Look at that, they're buying. We should probably dump this. What? Well, this flow here doesn't really make much sense to me. I was thinking maybe I was going to get out. Well, okay, maybe I still might get out at 05 half. But look at the way that it's ticking at 05. Somebody clearly wants to test that 04 half. Jeez. Liu says October 9th, China hopes to agree with US on issues. Xinhua. Is that what they're reacting to? That's like nothing. Chinese Vice Premier Liu He says China is willing to reach agreement on matters that both sides care about and to prevent friction from further escalation. Okay, well, this volatility is continuing and I don't particularly like my spot. So, it seems to me like the news headline that I'm getting doesn't matter, but try telling that to the robots, right? Hmm, shit. Like I was being squeezed and I was trying to find an easy way out, but I should have taken it when they come back up to my price. So for that to have turned into a loser is really sucks. Donald Trump, Turkey has been planning to attack the Kurds for a long time. They have been fighting forever. We have no soldiers or military anywhere near the attack area. I am trying to end the endless wars, talking to both sides. Some want us to send tens of thousands of soldiers to the area and start a new war all over again. Turkey is a member of NATO. Others can stay out, let the Kurds fight their own battles. I say hit Turkey and very hard financially with sanctions if they don't play by the rules. I am watching closely. Well, it's still telling me to buy, but I'm gonna have to sit out for a while. That sucks that happened that way, and I was kind of trying to take the +2, but I was just a little too indecisive there, wasn't I? And it does appear that I had a good order flow read, but that it came down possibly because of that news, which that's the thing that's frustrating about it is that it's pointless news. It's like, whatever. You know, it happens.
YouTube, Uzi Knesset. I never thought I'd live to see the day political leaders participate in flame wars on the internet. Confused face.
Well, I don't know if that tweet that he just gave there really counts as like flame war stuff, but you know, whatever. The thing that they're not admitting is that the Turks suckered them, right? They told the Kurds, you know, to not build up because you're agitating the Turks, you know, and let's try and have some peace here and have nothing happen. And then after they got that, then the Turks went in anyways. So Donald Trump has been trying to negotiate like a peace in over this for some time, and he failed dismally, essentially. I got I got squeezed bad there, guys. The problem with that one, because it was at '06, right? Yes, it was. Remember when I first took it, I didn't like the position. That was exactly why. I thought it would happen earlier, but then it was like, oh, I got one, and then it came back and was still on the spot. It sucks. Okay, here comes the E-mini start. They're actually a little tepid there. They are surprisingly tepid on the open. It's funny to see these right here. They said bye bye. No, I got squeezed. I saw it coming, but I was like a deer in the headlights. Okay, so there's a new low. Wowie. It's too bad that I didn't get a clear enough signal up there up at the top to take that short. But I think when it came up to '08 and it came back, gapped back down so quickly, I really should have taken a profit. I really regret that. Well, now I'm hearing more clickiness. All right. It's clicking a lot now. Okay. So that's a potential entry signal, but it's too soon. There you go. And 14 ticks down. Well, there's a pretty big iceberg at 0.5. The E-mini is kind of bumping along its opening. It's overnight open. Yeah, okay. See, it's funny, when we were up here, right? Yeah, it felt like they just fell so easily, you know? But then ever since they've made the new low, now it's been really aggressive selling. And I'm just really surprised at how far it's going.
Twitch, Dojo 2022. I got my eye on 000 for a long.
I don't know. And like the thing is there's some pretty big numbers below us, way below us. Like, and I'm just not. I don't know. I mean, I think I understand why they're selling, but I just don't see it. And the other thing is that it didn't really give me a very good, clear sell signal per se. That might have been considered a sell signal, but it was a little weird. It was like late. It was like after that happened, then somebody decided to go short. And it's tough because I see some of you guys listing some moves down there. Like, it's pretty heavy selling overall, though, isn't it?
Twitch, Dojo 2022. TLT has a decent overhead gap.
Well, there's definitely some attempts to hold Doe 1 that they decided to take him. See that? So you kind of get in this bizarre. So there's some sort of a robot is fighting with them here at O5. When I saw that, I thought that was a signal to go long, but I don't know. Look at that, 1,000 hit into O1. So there's an iceberg on O1. E-mini is still pushing up. Hmm.
Twitch Dojo 2022. I'm long 010.
It's showing me some stuff, but it's not giving me a clear indication that it's over yet. And that O5 pulled. Hmm. So still kind of dramatic at O1. They're selling O5, but not strongly. That kind of looks to me like one that, if they wanted to go lower, they probably can. There's a downtick. Buying an O5 seems like tough. Ooh, okay. The E-mini, a lot of buying, not really going very far.
Twitch Dojo 2022. Target 030.
Hmm. I have to wait. I really want to click in, but I'm not seeing my spot. I'm afraid it's going to take off without me, but I'm not seeing my spot. If anything, this is like a no signal signal. Really not a lot of interest here anymore.
YouTube K9. What's the largest size you have seen someone trade?
Well, I've seen icebergs of 25,000 before. That's what you mean. Um, we've had people come in the room and
YouTube
show.
Ace Trades at K9 like gone over to their house and
Yeah,
watched.
well, I've never gone over to somebody's house and watched, but we've had people come into the room and show us like lots of 200 before. Like they would just put it on the DOM and then remove it to show us that they were putting that liquidity there. So, and I think a couple of these guys are trading multiple lots, but I don't think that any of us are more than 10 in ZN.
YouTube Ace Trades. I would be tempted to take a short at 2920.50 if it hits it.
If it hits it, they're buying. So now they're going to go for the 29, 23, 50 overnight high. Yes.
YouTube Ace Trades. Not going to hit it. YouTube K9 at Ace Trades more like a person you believe is trading a live account. There's a lot of elite demo traders out there. Lol.
He is definitely taking well, so for my part, if you watch here like at 30 for instance, 2677, 2678, 2677. I just trade one lot though. And I don't always trade live. That one I took was live. It sucks that I lost on it. I really don't think there's anything wrong with trading sim
YouTube
though,
Ace Trades at K9 right, and that is the problem. I only know when I'm live. Everyone else is just a guess.
It kind of comes back into this thing where everybody like it's different live and everything, but people lose so much money trading live when they're not ready. I think you take as much time on sim as you need, guys. Don't let anybody shame you into losing your money because they couldn't make money. You know what I mean? But if the question is like you're really skeptical about anybody that's claims success is actually trading live, I will tell you, K9, some of these guys have shown me statements, and they are not only are they trading live, but they have records going back over 6 months of profitability. So I am not the best trader here by far. I'm just the one that's foolish enough to stream it. That's the only thing special about me. Okay, so they're trying to hit the overnight high. Okay, they took it. Strong push down. 832 hit into 005. They're very fast. But
YouTube
it held.
Gary Rich. Markets pricing possible 160 bill tariffs negotiations which kick in the 15th of December.
Yeah, I don't know, man. It seems to me that the market is trying to price in something really, really big based on like no actual information, you know? It concerns me because what happens at the end of the day when they come in and they say, well, we didn't get a deal? What happens? Especially to the treasuries because, man, they sold the crap out of that thing there. Somebody wanted to move it down. And there's not really a whole lot. Well, there is at 29 half is one particular area that, uh, 29 half to 28 area, one area that they may want to still go down and get. And from my perspective, I'm still not seeing. In fact, it's telling me it's going to go, well, it's already too late. Huh? I was just about to say the 30-year is suggesting that they're going to go down again. Donald Trump, big day of negotiations with China. They want to make a deal, but do I? I
YouTube,
meet with
Gary
the vice
Rich, China
president
wants a
tomorrow
deal
at the
but
White
won't really
House.
negotiate on intellectual property.
This is a stop run. I want to reverse this. I want to reverse this. Go. They want to make a deal, but do I? I meet
YouTube,
with the
Greg
vice premier
Orlovsky, all
tomorrow at
still
the
news
White
driven,
House.
very hard to trade.
That is not positive news. I mean, what he just said is not positive for a trade deal, but he's just kind of being coy. Well, somebody's going to be willing to sell that much there. Okay. Okay.
YouTube, a mini trader, thank you Donald Trump for that tweet I was long lol.
Now the news squawks are picking up on are retweeting him. Well, I like my spot, but it's not cooperating yet. That definitely upset the balance of the markets, let's say. Hmm. I meet with the vice premier tomorrow at the White House. And no, guys, I don't think Donald Trump wants to make a deal. Do you think he wants to make a deal? This whole thing is a little crazy, isn't it? Well, I haven't been proven wrong here, but this is definitely not behaving normally, is it? They're still selling it.
YouTube, Greg Orlovsky, surprised the ES jumped on that tweet, it's not positive.
It's not positive, right? Well, maybe they're saying that they didn't know. I mean, gosh. Maybe they didn't know that he was going to be meeting with the vice premier and they're reading that as positive. I don't know. I liked that trade. Didn't work. Two like that. I don't know if I should take another.
Twitch, Dojo 2022, the algos say it's positive so it must be.
Right. The ES bought crazy there. Like, the problem that I have with this is that there was some I want to be long. I don't know what to do, guys. It seems to me that the E-mini is going long not necessarily because of the robots, but because there was stop runs and it just happened all the stops took it long, you know?
YouTube, Gary Rich, take a read at South China Morning Post on IMF 2020 700 bill tariffs.
Uh, well, we saw that come through on the squawks earlier. I still don't see why that's means anything. I'm so sad, guys. I'm just really upset. Two good trades ruined, I think. I can't say that I'm happy with how I managed those trades, but I don't regret taking them. I thought they were good trades. Well, I told you he was going to tweet something to try and get more leverage. I just can't believe the stock spike on Trump China tweet. I just don't understand. Well, what is there to understand, huh? It's the thing that's funny is, so here's the thing that's interesting is I really liked that
YouTube,
trade.
Greg Orlovsky, algorithmic calculation for today, begin long buying operation at Trump plus tweet plus China if before 10 a.m. EST.
The thing that I find interesting is that during all of that, the sellers on the offer
YouTube,
didn't
Gary
pull out
Rich,
of the
if a
way.
tweet hits on Chinese negotiations breakdown we drop and 10 years goes to 1.5 yield.
Right. I mean, you were talking about something that could move a point or 2 points if bad enough news came through. Okay. Now it's telling me that there might give me something. Okay, so I could potentially take 30.
YouTube, Greg Orlovsky, and back to the old way trading used to be. There is an insignificant 30-year bond auction at 1 o'clock EST today LMAO.
Okay, that's more like what I was looking for. Wouldn't be surprised if they made a new low here. He's definitely pushing it. See that? Hmm. Well, somebody at 26 half is maybe going to get filled and be very,
YouTube,
very
Gary
happy.
Rich, the algorithms have all the news, words, etc. coded up. Problem: the algo can't see context, just tone.
Right. Well, I don't even know if they can see tone, but how can we say that that was the algorithms? I mean, is the algorithm really offering out 3,000 contracts at, evens? Okay, it's telling me to try it. The E-mini, by the way, had a big, big old absorption up there, too. So you see this offer, it's still doing it. So my question to you is, does an algorithm sit at 29 and offer out 3,000 contracts? Mm, I think that a Twitter algorithm like that just hits it with a market order and doesn't look back. So I could be wrong. I don't know a whole lot about Twitter bots, and we never did that at Goldman. So, but let's just, if we just assume that I'm right, okay, then the guys that were selling it, there was something else. Like they thought they knew something, and they've been selling for it all morning. And then you had a lot of people around 131 even tried to go
YouTube,
long.
Gary Rich, trust me when I say they have them coded up. These are micro, nanosec quantitative strategies.
This was, they came in short pretty strong, tens of thousands of contracts all morning before any of this hit. And then a bunch of people took it long and they got stopped out when Donald Trump tweeted. It wasn't necessarily the algorithms selling it, selling the treasuries, buying the E-mini. But now that they did and everybody's stopped out, you could get a really, really hard whip back. Especially if especially if all of the discretionary traders look back and say, they got it wrong. But I'm just, it's not like your theory is a bad theory or anything. I'm just, it's actually a really good, very likely theory. I'm just kind of trying to put a little bit of, well, there's other possibilities, and one possibility that I think we should really put into consideration there is that part of the reason we moved down the way that we did was because of stops. There was just way more stops available on the downside because people thought the down move was over. You can even see it here. Like, look, there was a big guy. He got in there, and then they just pushed it way hard against him. Well, if this goes the way that I want it to and it completely retraces, I wouldn't be surprised to see, something like O2 half. Let's say vigilant. I'm sure that those sellers feel pretty are pretty proud of themselves right now and are kind of thinking, well, let's do it again.
YouTube, Gary Rich, the CTA, prop, institutional, HF funds and more are using these quant models.
Yeah, but how does the Twitter robot read what Donald Trump just tweeted and say that that's a reason to buy the E-mini? Like, what is what is the decoding logic that would result in a long there? I don't think that we have any clue. Like somebody earlier was saying they can't see what it was, they can just read the tone of it. But the tone of his tweet wasn't positive. They want to make a deal, but do I? How do you put that through an algorithm and that comes out and says buy ES? I just don't understand. This doesn't make any sense to me at all. That sounds like wrong to me. And like I said, I just don't think that Twitter robots are using, 5K icebergs to do their trades. I think that they're hitting, with a couple hundred at market. And probably they get out really quickly too. And the other thing is remember when we took it, because this was when it hit right here around 7:45, right? There was some buying up in that area where I bought it. I did get favorable. No, I guess I didn't get favorable ticks, but it stayed at my price for quite some time. So it wasn't like there wasn't people trying to buy it, but they went for the stops. So we'll see how this plays out, but I'm not entirely convinced that there was some big grand long-term read there or anything. I think it was just trading. So the E-mini is kind of coming to a level here where if they kind of fall through this liquidity around 29.34, that then it's going to start to look really likely that they retrace that whole move up. Pretty okay uptick there. I mean, there's clicks on it.
YouTube, Gary Rich, the models are parsing all the words from the data via Twitter, sophisticated analysis via quant modeling. They can take a word and run models how much a word moves in instrument percent wise.
Okay. So maybe they see Donald Trump tweet and they see that he used the word deal, and because he used the word deal, they bought it. It could be, but I'm still say the ones that take that, they took it like right as he said it. That doesn't account for the guys that were putting icebergs. I'm pretty confident that most of those icebergs are either profit takers or people. And
YouTube,
they're on the
Gary
offer
Rich,
side.
yes as
They're not
example.
the offer side. Then they're not profit takers, were they? Former trader at HSBC and Lloyd's quit his job to join the swelling ranks of Extinction Rebellion. Story from Bloomberg that sounds pertinent to our interests. Click on that. Oh, for climate protests. Never mind, nobody cares. You quit your job because you think that the human race is going to go extinct in 12 years, whatever. Okay, well,
YouTube, Gary Rich. Yes, both of our views are correct.
cool. That's cool. Um, so the E-mini is trying to push through this buy liquidity.
YouTube, Greg Orlovsky. Last week Peter Davies did a group therapy session. Not much there for us to watch, it was boring. He kept the theme of this market volatility being so news-driven, ES-DOM not many true reads.
Yeah, well, I find that interesting, but he's probably saying that because he trades the E-mini, You get what I mean? Like, when you watch the 10-year treasuries and things start to get really hairy, some of the spots that they turn are really obvious, right? And it's great because you can take, like, 1 to 4 risk reward ratio too. Whereas if you watch the E-mini, it just goes and, like, who knows where it's going to stop. And then it is kind of like, yeah, there's not many true reads. But this is the issue that I have with the E-mini in general, is it's just not as good on order flow reads. Like, if you see an order flow read in the E-mini, it happens because that's what traders are seeing. Okay, so now something else happened.
YouTube, Gary Rich. Haven't you noticed liquidity on the DOM disappears at certain levels?
Yeah, for sure. Well, I've watched that very much so. I very much watched that. Like, I'd be watching this L5 to see what happens if we tick up.
YouTube, Greg Orlovsky. Yes, he was stating the ES from 2015. Up 4 points, rotations, down 6 points. Davies stated
Oh,
relatively
really?
easy to read back them. The treasuries can be
Sure,
DOM read.
sure, for sure. But I'm just saying. Well, let me. I didn't get to the point that I was trying to make. When the treasury moves, okay, um, it moves because of the volume. Okay. Um, I guess there is a real bond market out there, so that's not completely true. It is still a derivative. Okay. Better example would be like oil, right? If when oil moves, it's because of the volume. It's because of the volume. Oil would be a great instrument to trade if they actually put liquidity up, but because most of the orders are market orders and not very many people sit on the limits, it's not very good for order flow. But otherwise, it would be. Okay, but it moves because of the orders. When the E-mini moves, it doesn't move because of the orders. The orders come in because of what the actual stock market is doing and because of the traders. So if you get an order flow read, it's still like a secondary read, if that makes sense. That Did that make sense? I don't know if I'm using the right words there. I think I can come up with a better way of explaining that. But I guess a simpler theory here is that the closer your market is to the actual commodity that you're trading, the higher probability your order flow reads are going to have. Yeah. Hmm. So the treasuries are experiencing quite a bit of drama here, possibly because of what the E-mini is doing. So I suppose that's a,
YouTube, Gary Rich. On the Dom, you have to watch all levels on both sides.
yeah. Well, I used to have the stacking and pulling thing, but I never really found a very good read from
YouTube,
that.
Greg Orlovsky. Yes, Dom read of the ES when the depth is this thin is probably negated. Back in 2015, it was 10 levels 20,000 by 20,000.
Really? Yeah. I just say that most of the time the treasuries is closer to the market, is closer market to the actual move that you're trading. Um, Now in this instance right here, right now, that might not be the case, and that might be why I'm having trouble because they're trading the moves in the E-mini. As the E-mini moves up and down, they're ticking up and down. And so are my order flow reads as reliable at that point? It could be somebody buys a ton here, and normally that would be a really good sign in the treasuries, but then the E-mini can decide to move down just because it feels like it. The fuck? So do I trust that? I don't see any news.
Twitch, Shalian _ I'm looking for a long in S around 29 to 31.
Okay, it pulled. It was there, but it pulled. And now there's only 785 at 30.5? Come on. They don't buy it, huh? Gotta be kidding me, guys. Can you believe that I just sat in that for that long and then it just comes back on me that fast? Apparently, Leo Varadkar and Boris Johnson can see a pathway to a possible deal. That's Brexit news. I don't like that. Let's just wait for a second. I really got screwed over today, man. That was +7. Fuck. And can you believe that I took that at 28.5? How did I not get more than that? Why is it telling? Because the swing up says 9. I think they're gonna go new low here. UK Prime Minister and Irish Prime Minister say there is a pathway to a possible deal. There's that word again, deal. Maybe that is the word that the algorithms like. That's Donald Trump should go and make a tweet that is the maximum allowed tweet with nothing but deal, and see what the algorithms do.
YouTube, Gary Rich. Identify your ranges, watch for ASR to break, and scalp these tight moves at times.
Okay. I'm not going to play that one until I see what's causing it. The treasuries really moved there, but the E-mini did not. And all of the liquidity is pulling. I may just be on the wrong side of this trade. Maybe there really is some like hopeful sounding stuff going on.
Twitch, Shallian underscore, guess it won't go that low, really wanted to catch that second wave in the Amini.
Read indictment of two Giuliani associates arrested for violating campaign finance rules. Oh, U.S. Chamber official. China understands that waiting until the end of Trump's term as a president is not an option in trade talks. Is that why they moved? It's telling me to buy again. God damn it. Like, why? It's still kind of giving me signs that they could try and push down again. I think that move there was some sort of a stop run again. I don't know if that was the U.S. Chamber official, if that was the news that moved us. If it was, again, they're being manipulated by trivial headlines. Mm-mm-mm. They took me a little bit too easily.
YouTube, Gary Rich, Amini 2940 hard resistance.
Yeah, really hard resistance. They might go for it though. Okay. I can see somebody big stepping in here. Okay, well, that was a positive uptick for me. It wasn't like a huge, but like, look at how light the liquidity is right now above us. We could end up with like a really crazy liquidity vacuum here, to be honest. I might only end up taking 4 on this. I mean, good grief. How have we really had one that's been able to go much more than 4? I think they're moving up a little bit though because the E-mini appears to be failing. I think they did make a slightly higher high, but they didn't make a new high in cumulative delta. So there's some divergences going on there. The momentum in the E-mini is running out. And some of that, I don't like that, but I don't think that one was news. That was a pull. So it could continue going up. Yeah.
YouTube K9. Why has S liquidity fallen so much over the years?
Well, I wouldn't say that it's fallen so much over the years because at the beginning of the year, the liquidity was crazy thick. When was that? Around February or March? They were sticking like 7,000s on there at one point, I think. But I think that what has happened is over this past month is the market makers and so forth that, algorithms, probably mostly high frequency trading algorithms, but, firms and so forth that are typically putting, thousands of contracts on every side. They've probably gotten screwed over by this news and, well, not this news, but just this market in general, this news driven market, let's say. And so they're much more hesitant to put their money at risk. Hmm. Well, I'm not necessarily getting an exit signal there, but they didn't. As they moved up, the interest kind of did decrease. So we should keep an eye on that, or we should be aware of that. That was a kind of an odd downtick.
YouTube Gary Rich. Yes. When volatility amps up, you will see times liquidity dry up.
Yeah. Now it used to be, you'd see something like this happen. Like it used to be, we would have 4,000 contracts on every side, and something happened, and then maybe we would have two or three. But now it's like there's just only ever 2,000 contracts on at every side. So it's almost like a flash crash, Mm, my problem here is that I'm just going long, and the trend has been down.
YouTube Greg Orlovsky. Seth, that is 100% correct. The ES daily volumes are good, but the depth is thin. HFT just can't operate with these quick moves. HFT wants to contain price for smaller moves.
Exactly. Because their edge is being the first at there. If it ticks up, they're the orders that actually catch it. That's their thing. So when it's moving 3 or 4 ticks at a time, in ZN at least, then that's not good for them. So for starters, I might want to just put a profit thing out there in case there's something crazy happens. I'm incredibly nervous and frustrated. It's giving me another long signal. That down tick at 07, it was not good. Okay, some of it pulled. What? Now there's some at 16. There's 16 and 27 and a half. Okay.
YouTube K9.
Some odd
Thanks for
back
the
and
answers.
forth.
Appreciate it.
No problem. I wish, thank you for coming in today. I wish that I was doing better for you today. Today could have been a really great day for me, but uh, combination of being on the wrong side and just some bad luck has really ruined some good trades, hasn't it? So that sad thing is that if I had taken profits in the right spot, and it hasn't really been giving me very clear signals for profits, so I can't say that was just like me. No, I think that there's been some problems with the strategy, but there was enough favorable ticks in there to come out profitable, right? But if you're the wrong way, I mean, if they're selling, and this is the funny thing, is that it kind of seems like part of it is that because the trend is down, they go with the news with down, regardless of what the news might actually mean. I tell you what, though, if they come out of this tonight after dinner tonight, and it's not
YouTube,
good.
Gary Rich, every day is a good day. You're still doing it.
You think you still proud of me? Huh? I think I'm still doing okay on my order flow reads. It's just not quite working out today. That's all. I have noticed somewhat of a correlation between how well I'm doing and you know how many people watch the stream, and so I'm always kind of a little cognizant of well, I don't want to. Somebody said, "Oh, well, maybe this order flow thing is for real. Let's see how well this guy does." And then I have a bad day, and they say, "Well, it didn't work that day. Maybe order flow doesn't work." That's what I'm trying to I don't want people to be doing. This
YouTube, Gary
signal's
Rich, I'll
failing.
cheerlead for you, rah rah.
It's going to be way too easy for them to touch 25 half. It's ticked up and down there a lot, and that might be a false breakout move. So nobody's traded 27 yet. It's kind of curious, right? Okay, now somebody does it. It must have been one of you going, well, I'll be the one person that buys 27. But look, he's trying to squeeze us. Okay. I'm getting a lot of clicking. Can be hard to read when, it's just 600 by 600 all the time. I think we had some good reads in there, but now at this point right here, I think it's kind of feels to me like luck of the draw. Okay, that one wasn't too bad. Okay. So when I get an uptick like that, like I relax a lot, but I should probably still be nervous. Shit. The interest in going lower is decreasing. So if they do break the low, it might be another good reversal point. But man, this sucks. Okay, well, just thinking about where could I have gone short. Well, doesn't matter. This week can be over, and then maybe we can start getting some good reads again, and we'll have a much clearer idea of what the direction is.
Twitch, Shallian _ I know how that feels, laughing face.
That was minus 171, so pretty much that whole, like that amazing winner that I got the other day, most of that gone now. That sucks so bad. I mean, it's still up, but oh my god. You know, feels bad. I don't think well, obviously being a buyer here in this was not a positive thing. And clearly the market seems to disagree about my reading of the news. Although I may still come out on top through that. But my signals weren't necessarily bad. My read wasn't wrong. So it's kind of more where you take the profit. It sucks. That one was +4 and -4. I should have just been taking +4. I don't know. See it? Like this one, 5, 7, 4. I could have come out really, really well today if I had known where to take profits. But it's not giving us short signals, so I don't know what to do about that. I just don't know.
YouTube, Uzi Knesset. I took another short earlier at 62.23. I bailed on it for -3 and said F it. Doesn't kill my profit for today, but I'll take you bailed on a good trade as a sign to just call it a day. Twitch, Shallian _ that is the same problem I often have as well. You were like 8T up on one trade and also the last one. I also don't get out fast enough.
Yeah, because when you get something like that, you're like, well, it's coming back, but now it's slowing down and they might reverse. And if it's not giving you a signal, if it's not giving you a reliable signal, how do you know? It's just kind of random. Well, it can be random. In this case, it's not because there's just so much sell pressure. Okay, so let's just look at. Let me just calculate how bad the damage here is. $16.23.
YouTube, Gary Rich, I've learned this. If you say would've, could've, should've, doubt will creep in your mind, see a signal, wait then take it. You win and lose at times.
Yeah. Well, I'm just trying to go through in like, okay, some of what I'm doing here is a little bit different and new. And so I'm not entirely sure how to correctly handle it. And this seems to be what the really big kind of gaping hole is when I'll only get reversal signals against the trend, and then on the other direction I don't get anything. And so how can I see where to, if I really think I should be going short at that point, where how do I see where to take it? You know, is not giving it. This one, like, I don't think I would have taken that last one if I wasn't still so confident on my newsread. So whatever. Okay, so I'm basically back to break even is what that does between this and the other day. Sucks, guys. But we will live to trade another day. I might, be a little bit more cautious next week, but yeah, but I'm gonna need to get a little better idea, especially this one where I got 7. I caught that almost perfectly. No, it wasn't that one. It was actually around here. I caught that almost perfectly, and I don't know how I didn't get the 8 on it. Maybe I really should just go back to always take 8. Probably I should. That would have probably solved a lot of problems. All right, guys. Enough feeling bad for myself. Tomorrow's another day. I will see you tomorrow. In the meantime,